Well, hello there. Have I got a show for you today? You won't believe who's on the show. I got him talked into it, and we're going to talk about a lot of fun things that we just did. It's my husband, Steve Lipsky. Hi, Steve. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Well, we just come back from the cruise on the Regent Seven Seas Grandeur, and Steve and I are going to talk about that, aren't we, Steve?
Yes, we are.
Okay, so what I want to know is, what did you like the best?
Oh, well, everything, especially the company.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You like the company the best? Okay, good. That's a good answer.
That's you. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it was absolutely wonderful. They can never be treated better than they treat you there.
So we left out of New York. We'll bring up some pictures, so we're going to talk about that. So Rick, pull up the first slide. That's our ship, right, Steve?
That's correct.
Okay, Seven Seas, the Regent Grandeur of the Seas. And Steve and I had a concierge suite on there. It was absolutely phenomenal. From the time we got on, we were weighted on hand and foot, weren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You never have to take your own chair out to sit down. Somebody's there to do it for you.
Yeah. Well, that's great. Okay, and this is New York. This is your old hometown, isn't it there, my dear?
Sure is.
So what'd you think?
Long time ago.
Yeah, well, we went back and we stayed at the Marriott Marquis there, and we were treated royally before we left to get on the ship. And I kind of wished we would have spent a few more days, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's Steve right there. He's making friends with the head maitre d', and so you can tell a love affair started right there. And
Not exactly a love affair, but okay.
Where is that, Steve? That's the Compass Rose, isn't it?
Yeah.
At night.
There's one fabulous restaurant.
Yeah.
They had the.
See the buffet? That's the Sunday buffet, you guys. You'll have to take a look at this.
Oh, that's you wouldn't believe.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like it before.
Sunday brunch. I would guess there's another picture of it. In Las Vegas, if we were to go to a buffet like that, it would have to be $500 a person, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Everything you could possibly think of was there. What was your favorite there, Steve?
The favorite food I had there was they had the best Dover sole I've ever had in my life. I had that several times. You have Maine lobster every day if that's what you want, and pretty much anything you want.
Uh-huh. See, there you are. You're enjoying yourself tremendously. Look at those steaks. See, Steve has a smile on his face, don't you?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so see, you're going to see a lot of food. And then this is up at Prime 7, isn't it, Steve, where we were?
Yes, that was on the 10th floor.
Uh-huh. Phenomenal food, the best steak and seafood. And it's a private restaurant. You have to make reservations for that. And we did many nights, didn't we?
Yeah.
What about lunch? We had lunch. There's our
I had lunch there, and
there's our maitre d' there. He come over to check on us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And make sure you get everything you want.
Yeah. Yeah. There we are. Are you happy there, Stephen?
Very happy.
Yeah.
It was wonderful. And I came back home and I'm treated the same way. It's great.
Okay, there's an afternoon tea. Every afternoon, they had a different afternoon tea, didn't they? They would serve all kinds of pastries and hors d'oeuvres from 4 to 5, wasn't it?
Yeah.
In the Meridian Lounge, I believe it was.
That was what it was, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You can see my champagne, and Steve had the tea. Oh, this is one of your favorite places, Steve. What's this? Pacific Rim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where they have the Oriental food.
There it is, yeah. The sushi and the seafood. It took, about 3 hours for dinner that night, didn't it?
Yeah, they don't rush you.
No, that was a popular place. You need to make reservations well in advance when you go there, because I believe we got in once, didn't we, to that?
It was very good. Everything was good.
Yeah.
And the regular dining room was fabulous.
Yep. Yeah. That's beautiful. Okay, now I was having fun shopping. Well, while you were on a ship, Steve, I was spending money. What I like to do, buy jewelry and get to check out things. That was in Barbados. I bought some beautiful jewelry there. I wanted to buy some everyday items, and I'm wearing some today. I have that on, so we'll check that out later. So that was great. Hi to Kay's Fine Jewelers in Barbados. Oh, there you are. What are you doing there, Steve?
Oh, well, that was
Breakfast.
breakfast on our balcony.
Yeah. You're ready to go back, aren't you?
I sure am. Looking forward to it, too.
Oh, there he is.
I must be somewhere.
Yeah, look at all the food. This was definitely a gourmet food cruise, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, the food was unbelievable.
Oh.
And the service also.
Yeah,
It
well,
was-
there's another one of your favorites. You love sushi. Oh, my God. Every day we could have that, couldn't we?
Yeah,
Every day new selections. Wonderful.
awesome.
Oh, that's mine. I have the lobster and the shrimp and the scallops.
Scallops.
Oh, that makes me want to go back too, Steve. Honest to God, it does. Yes. And then don't forget dessert.
Yeah,
Wow.
they did everything you wanted. Everything that can be done, they did.
Yeah, look at our sunsets. Those are phenomenal. Beautiful. God, that makes me want to go back. Okay, now we're in Bermuda. That's when we came in. Look how beautiful the weather was that day.
And we were very fortunate. We didn't have any rain at all.
No, we went into the dock, and then you could take time to go into Hamilton if you wanted. This was a beautiful cruise. I would highly recommend the New York to Miami or the Miami to New York. This was a 15-day cruise that Steve and I took. Oh, and then where are we at? We're in St. Lucia, or no, St. Bart's. I take that back. Look at the expensive street.
Yeah, St. Bart's, they have more high-profile stores there than they do on Rodeo Drive in Beverly Hills or Via Condotti in Rome.
Yeah.
I never, I never knew the Caribbean would have stores like that.
Yeah.
And they had, Hermes, Louis Vuitton, Pataki watches, Rolex,
Yes.
very high-profile stores.
And a lot of French clothing. Yeah, I picked up a little French clothing while I was there.
I'm
Yeah.
not surprised.
My closet is getting smaller,
Yeah,
and that's going into St. Lucia. Remember how beautiful that was, Stephen?
yeah.
That was absolutely gorgeous. Yes, there's another picture of going into Grenada. That was into Grenada. So we hit all the islands. We did a lot different than you normally do on a Caribbean cruise. A lot of times when you go down to Miami, you'll go to St. John and St. Thomas and all that. We went into like a lot of different places, so that's why Steve and I picked this cruise. But again, you're right, Steve, the weather was phenomenal, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
And that's,
didn't know the islands were nice as the ones we went to, because usually I've gone on a lot of Caribbean cruises, and the islands were nothing like these are. These
No.
are beautiful, beautiful islands here.
This is Curacao, Williamstown, Curacao. It's beautiful. Oh, and then we come back on. Remember, they were getting ready for Halloween.
Halloween.
We were on a Halloween cruise. We didn't even realize it when we got on. And look at the decorations and what the chefs do. I mean, the preparation is phenomenal. It was right in the middle of the lobby, wasn't it, where they showed that
Yeah.
night? And then people got dressed up in their Halloween costumes. But you and I went as our normal selves, but it was fun. We really enjoyed it. Oh, there's another beautiful picture. That was in Bonaire. We were in Bonaire for a day. So each one of these places we went into for about a day. And the weather the whole time going down was wonderful. I think we only had one bad day, didn't we, Steve? Where it rained? When they had
Yeah.
the hurricane, but the captain went around.
Yeah, and we had skip one of the stops because of
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
yeah, but it was beautiful. Oh, there we are. Remember the party that night?
Yeah.
Yeah. Look how beautiful it is with the pool and you're smiling. Oh my goodness. And everybody was so friendly and helpful, and we got to know a lot of the crew and all the passengers. You get to pretty much
Passengers were
know
very nice,
everybody.
yeah. Yeah.
Everybody was wonderful. They call this, I believe, the most expensive cruise ship on the water, and I can see why. There wasn't anything that you couldn't ask for that you couldn't get. It was all there, wasn't it?
It's anything you want whenever you want it.
Yeah. Look how beautiful that pool is at night, Stephen. It's gorgeous, isn't it? Oh, and then they come over. What else can we bring you? What else do you need? I wanted to take half of them home, didn't you? That was fun. Yeah. And even the captain and the first officer come over to say hello. I had to get a picture with them, too. Well, Steve, I'll tell you something. You know, when you stop to think about this, we've been on a lot of cruises.
Yes, we have.
So if we were going to talk about positive and negative, this was my first time on Regent, and it was your first time also.
Yes.
We heard a lot of people talk about it, but we didn't know because you and I have traveled on a lot of cruises. We've done a lot of luxury cruises. We'll talk about some of our other ones in another one of our shows. But if you were going to talk about Regent, what would you talk about for positive, Steve?
Well, the shows were wonderful. The service was beyond comprehension almost, and the food was the best you're going to find anywhere in the world. So it's and the drinks were absolute top shelf.
Well, when you're, that brings me to another thing here. When you book a concierge suite, Steve and I had a concierge suite on there, and we had our own butler. He was able to unpack clothes and hang things up. And what else do you get in the room, Steve? Like, whatever you want, I understand, but you're a Scotch drinker. You like Scotch, right?
Oh, they always had a bottle of Macallan Scotch for us whenever we wanted it.
And that was what, the 12-year-old?
Yeah.
So that was pretty darn nice, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, the Macallan Scotch is top drawer Scotch. It's and then we also had some gin, but we didn't drink much of that.
Yeah.
Stayed mostly with Scotch.
Then we had champagne too.
And champagne, of course,
Oh,
yeah. Champagne every day.
Yeah.
And hors d'oeuvres and you can order whatever you want in your room, and it comes in within 5 or 10 minutes.
They do the white tablecloth and
Yeah.
the special presentation, or if you want to be out on a balcony, they do that too.
Yeah.
Well, on the luxury cruises, there's a difference between a regular cruise and a luxury cruise.
A world of difference.
Okay. Now, before me, before Suzy, I guess, you cruised and I cruised, but when we first started going on cruises, you noticed a lot of different things, didn't you?
Yes.
Like what?
But on the luxury cruises
Yes.
as opposed to the regular cruises,
Correct.
yeah, the quality was very different. The attitude of the people that worked on there was very different. Everything was, they smiled correctly, and anything you wanted, you got. It was different.
What about laundry? Maybe, now I know on a regular cruise, if you have laundry, you have to pay for everything. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. What about on the luxury cruise?
Yeah, you don't have to pay for the laundry, and they clean it. They have laundry if you want to, self-service if you want, or you can just send it out.
And it's no charge.
Yeah.
Right. So when you send it out, anything that needs washed or basically ironed, they'll do that at no charge. If you do dry cleaning, they are going to charge you for that. But most people, they need a washer to clean their underwear, underclothes, and things that like shorts and tops and things like that.
Yeah.
But literally, you'll send it out one day and it's back the next day. Unless they're really busy, then it's maybe 2 days. But it's constantly turned and it's back in the room and hung up in your closet.
And they also have laundries on every floor if you want something done right away.
Well, you tried that one day, didn't you? Yeah, it was pretty quick.
I did that once. Actually, the funny part was I did it when I was on a different cruise, Seabourn.
Seabourn.
We went there and washed some things, and they in the washing machine room they brought us caviar and champagne.
Well, see, that's why I wanted to have you on, because you've been on a couple different luxury lines with me, and each one has its positives and negatives, if you will.
Yeah.
But on Regent, it was wonderful, But they didn't, if you wanted caviar, you literally. You had Sundays. So Sunday, I'm a caviar and champagne girl. And Steve likes caviar and champagne too. But on Sunday, if you went down for brunch, they would have caviar. And it would be like 2 little blindies and a little bit of caviar on it. And you could have as much champagne as you wanted. So if you really were a caviar aficionado and you didn't want to pay for it, shall we say, you'd run from upstairs for the brunch downstairs to the Compass Rose. You'd be able to do that in 3 hours, run between the 2 places and get a little caviar. If you were to buy the caviar on there, it starts at roughly $100 and goes up to $600. So I just wanted you to be aware of that. As long as we have a little time, I want to talk about the difference between Seabourn and Regent, since I have you on with me. So we've been on Seabourn about 120 days now. So I believe that's 5 or 6 cruises. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
We suffered through every one of them.
You feel really bad for Steve right now, don't you? But on Seabourn, the ships are also luxurious. And what is the difference between the two?
Well, as far as caviar is concerned, on Seabourn, you can get all the caviar whenever you want it. So
right.
The service is wonderful on both of them. There's a world of difference between Princess Cruises and Royal Caribbean and these 2 kind of ships. It's a completely different feeling, and it was quite wonderful. And we met a lot of very nice people on a cruise, and a lot of them came from different parts of the world.
Right.
And a few of them came from where I was brought up in New York, in Brooklyn, New York. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, when we talk about luxury, most people, they're afraid when somebody says luxury, they think it's really, really, really expensive and they can't afford it. Is that correct? You thought that too, didn't you?
Yeah, but the thing is, they don't nickel and dime you. In other words, you pay the price and everything is included.
Right.
And so it may be a little more than the average ship, but when all is said and done, it's not all that much more, and it's worth every penny.
Right. I think we figured it out a couple times. If you were to book, by the time you look at a regular cruise, I have a travel agency, Diamond Travel also, and I do book cruises. And if you were to figure out what it was to cost you, looking at, let's just say Princess, Royal Caribbean, Carnival, whatever, you pay for your room, you pay for your liquor, your alcohol, you pay for your
yeah, like on Princess Cruises, they charge,
Yeah.
I think, $60 or $70 a day a person
right.
for drinks, and that's included. And
then for tips and gratuities, they charge for that too.
yeah, and that's an addition. And although they also charge
For laundry.
well, laundry, but yeah,
Yeah.
and they also have specialty restaurants where the food is much better than in a regular restaurant in Princeton's or Royal Caribbean and those. But
Yeah.
the food in the Compass Rose, which is a regular dining room there,
On the Regent.
on
Yeah.
the Regent,
Yes.
it's dramatically superior to the specialty restaurants on the other one, on the Princess, Royal Caribbean, etc. So,
Right.
and you add it all up, and it's not that much different.
No.
And
It's under 500, I know, because I've done it probably about 4 or 5 times, trying to figure out what it is. I mean, you look at your itineraries, you look at the ship, you look at what the entertainment is, what is all included in it, and it really is amazing, because most people are afraid to ask the questions, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So the deal here is, don't be afraid to ask. And if you got a question, call Diamond Travel. I'll be glad to answer it for you. So on our next trip, Steve, we're talking about possibly, we have a couple choices, don't we?
What?
We have a couple choices on our next trip. We're looking right now at, I'll let you tell everybody.
Well, we're looking at we start off in Australia, Sydney, Australia. I've been there a few times, but I don't. Suzy has never been there. And then from going to Sydney to Hong Kong, and that's a 28 or 30-day cruise, something like that.
Yeah.
And we're looking at that, and that'd be very interesting. I've been to both Sydney and Hong Kong, but the other places the ship goes to I haven't been to before, so I'm looking forward to that.
And that's in February, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So
And-
since I married Steve, I've been extremely busy and very, very happy.
Well, I've been very happy too. So
Yeah. Yeah. But if you were going to sum it all up, like with cruising and all the things you've done so far, like we went on a couple months before this one, we were in England,
Yeah.
Ireland, and Scotland. We
Yeah.
went on the Seabourn Venture. And if you guys get a chance, take a look at the Seabourn Venture. It's more of like an adventure type ship, isn't it? Where expedition is what I'm trying
Yeah.
to say. And you literally get in the boats, you know, instead of like the tenders, they have the rafts.
well, they're
But
rubber rafts.
Yeah, but they're very expensive rubber rafts with the motor, with the engine and all that. And it'll bring you into places that you normally wouldn't
Couldn't
get
go.
in. Yeah, yeah. So we'll have to come back, and we'll definitely talk about the other ones and bring the pictures with us. But I'm so tickled today that I got Steve to be on the show with me.
Well, yeah, the venture is only like 150 people, 150 guests on it.
Yeah.
So it's almost like a private yacht.
Yeah, and it's ultra luxury, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then you have all of your speakers. They all come from different parts of the world. I think there were like 40 of them that talked about all the different places that we went to in Ireland, Scotland, and England. And they would talk to us every day. They would have like a roundtable type discussion on what we were going to see the next day and places we were going to go. And do you remember when we went next to where the birds were, and we got on the boats, and then we went through the tunnels? And I mean, it was just amazing. Yeah. I'm helping Steve explore new things he didn't think he was going to explore.
No, and it's been a wonderful adventure, and looking forward to continue.
Okay. Well, that's our show for today. I just wanted to thank Steve for being on the show. And if you like our show, be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Again, this is Suzy Saline Lipsky, and I'm with Steve Lipsky, my husband. And thank you so much for being on the show today.
My pleasure.
Bye.
Bye. Au revoir. Auf Wiedersehen. Arigato.
Okay.